Bull Session presented by BCWSA, 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM. You can video stream this on WBCBsports.com or our YouTube page. And I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host, Mickey Morandini. I have to say that because this is the day, unfortunately, that Harry the K passed. So I got to give Harry a little...
16 years ago? Is that right?
Larry, we'll bring
ago?
on our special guest, Larry Andersen. Larry, how many years ago was it?
17.
17 years,
yeah.
Wow. You know what? And it's hard not to. How many times do you think you quote Harry Cowles once a day? At least during baseball season.
I won't say we quote him, but we use some of his terminology.
Yeah. Right?
Like nevertheless.
Right. Nevertheless. Right. That is a good inside terminology. All right. We're here with Larry Andersen. And Larry, I was thinking of you last night because yesterday I went to my first game as a civilian. How about that? I had to go park in lot P.
Was it a dream or a nightmare?
Well, it was a dream, I guess, until the eighth inning. It was kind of a
you said nightmare. Civilian, not fan.
Right. Well, when you work 33 years, you know, you become a civilian.
Okay.
You kind of lose your fandom, don't you? A little bit,
maybe.
Right. So it was kind of interesting walking around. I saw Scott Brandreth and walked into the Hall of Fame and saw a lot of the game day employees, which I am gonna miss. Like, you know, I didn't see Frankie Two Scoops.
No, really?
No, I didn't go into like the inner sanctum of the ballpark. But then afterwards, I went to my buddy Matt Cord, retired, or was retiring, and we thought it might be his last game. Now there's gonna be one more game on Wednesday, home game for the Sixers. But we went to the game. We all got T-shirts made for him. After the game, went on the court, took a big group picture, and then we were right back here in that private room back there. And it was Billy King. It was all of Matt Cord's buddies. It was kind of. I felt like Larry was back when we all lived together. And Mick, I don't know if you know the story, but Larry and I almost got killed by Matt Cord, the guy that was celebrated last night.
I did not know that.
Did you not know the story?
I did not.
Larry, I tell the story all the time. Would you like to tell the story?
Well, I don't remember the story. I just remember climbing down his roof.
Yes. All right. Well, let me set it up. So I lived on Front and Catherine. Okay. I was single, and our roof connected to Matt Cord's roof. So you could walk from my roof right across. You don't have to jump.
Didn't have to jump at all.
Don't have to jump at all. Walk right across, and you can go down the hatch. Well, I had a party on Friday night, and it was packed, and Matt was there, but Matt had to get up early to do radio the next morning. So Matt said, I'm going to bed. See you. So he goes right next door, goes to bed. Well, now it's 1 in, 2 in, whatever it is, and there's never any good decisions made at 1 in or 2 in, especially when it involves me and Larry Andersen. So Larry and I don't know whose idea it was, probably mine. I said, let's go mess with Matt, right? So we go up on our roof, and we cross over the roof. We go down the hatch, and Matt's sound asleep, and Scout, his dog, is looking at us. And I used to walk Scout, so Scout's looking at me like, why is this guy here? It's not time for me to walk. It's 2 in. So Larry gets on one side of the bed. I get on the other side of the bed. And we shake the bed and we go, Matty! We shake it, right? And Matt is half asleep, and his first instinct is to reach down underneath his bed, and he grabs a Glock, and he literally is pointing the Glock at me. Then Larry Andersen going, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, waving the gun, loaded gun at me and Larry. Now, if that gun had gone off on either of our directions, could you imagine the scandal on WIP? Ooh. It would have been like, Director of Funny Games and longtime announcer, player, coach Larry Andersen gets shot by Sixers PA announcer.
That would not have been good. Were you a director of fun back then?
I've been the director of Funny Games since 1994. So yes, I was.
I wish we did a video for Matt. You know, a bunch of people did videos for him, congratulating him on his 28 years and wishing him well in his retirement. And I wish I would have. We just said basically, you know, it was great listening to you and watching you for 28 years, and the announcements. The PA was tremendous. But I wish I would have said, you know, and I'm so glad you didn't shoot me when I snuck down your roof.
I said it in the video.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
so you're covered there. But you know, and we'll just talk about Matt a little bit. Two of my favorite Matt Cord stories are one. Allen Iverson went up to him before the game and said, "Hey, can you make me 6'3"? I don't know what he was announced as 6'1", or 6 foot guard. So can you make me 6'2" or 6'3"? So Matt's like, okay. So he does the whole lineup. And he's like, and now 6'2" guard from Georgetown. And everyone's looking like Eric Snow. Everyone's like,
Who's playing?
6'2". Like, what the hell? So then after the game, Eric Snow's like, hey, man, can you make me 6'5"? And all these other guys. So finally, Matt stopped doing it. The other one is Karl Malone. He had I guess he had note cards, and I guess they were stapled. And when he gets to the end, Karl Malone's obviously the last guy to be announced, right? Star player. So he goes through the 4 guys, and he can't find the 5th card. So instead of just improvising and saying Karl Malone, he just ends it after the 4th guy, and then the lights go down, and then the Sixers, lineup does that. Well, after the lineups, lights go up, and Karl Malone comes over and he goes, "Where's the PA guy?" And someone points to Matt. He goes, "Let me introduce myself. 10-time All-World, 13-time All-American, all whatever NBA, Karl Malone." He's like, I know. He goes, Matt's like, I had this piece of paper and it got stapled. The staple caught in the other one. And he's like, so you're telling me that a staple cost you from calling my name? It's like, good for Matt Cord. Congratulations. So, and speaking of basketball, Larry, I don't know if you knew this. You guys are both. I'm talking to some multi-sport athletes here. Larry Andersen was recruited for University of Oregon, right, to be an option quarterback.
Right.
Were you an option quarterback or more of a you're
drop back
passer?
I didn't have
the wheels.
Speed.
No, that wasn't part of my game.
That wasn't part of your game. Now, Larry, did you know that Mickey over here still holds his high school basketball scoring record, even though the 3-point line wasn't invented back then? So he still had that.
Yeah, but he left out the fact he was 23 years old.
Well, that's true. He was on NIL before NIL took place.
I picture your athleticism. I believe it was Wrigley Field when you hit a base hit.
That's exactly right.
Completely tripped over first base.
Well, I tripped over a few bases, whether it was defense or offense.
Did you make it back?
Yeah.
You made it back. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So LA. So this is I think, Mick, and then maybe this will be the start right here. I'm going to say that Larry Andersen, I told this to him not too long ago, if there's somebody that deserves to be in the Phillies Wall of Fame based on his breadth of work, whether it's as a pitcher on on two different playoff teams. He was obviously a coach, one of the great practical jokers for, poor Wayne Gomes, longtime announcer. I mean, if there's somebody that's literally bled Phillies red, it's Larry Andersen.
No question.
Right?
Deserves to be in immediately.
Well, can we start?
Maybe they're waiting for him to retire, and then they'll put him.
Maybe that is. That's a good point. Well, don't do that anytime soon.
Don't retire?
Yeah, don't retire.
Well, what if I wanted to go on the Wall of Fame, and if that increases my chances?
Well, maybe you should retire.
Well, I'm still here.
Yeah, right. Well, you're still here.
I would start writing your speech right now.
Larry, would you burp in your speech? Would you do like a prolonged burp?
No. I would probably spend most of my time thanking my teammates and the fans.
Okay. All right. So let's go through your career. So you were drafted by Cleveland, right?
Right.
And if I remember correctly from stories you told, was Eckersley was he a prospect at that point too?
Oh yeah.
So, and you guys, I remember doing like road trips with Dennis Eckersley, like through Arizona and everything. Was he one of your closer friends? Like going through the systems?
Yeah.
And have you guys stayed in touch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And then all of a sudden, when you got to Philly, did you ever have any idea the impact you would have on the city? Obviously, you didn't know at the time, but like, did you know anything about Philadelphia when you came over here? Not
when I first got here. In fact, excuse me, I got here from Seattle. They bought my contract from the Mariners, and I wasn't even with the Phillies organization, but I was playing with them in AAA because Seattle didn't even want me in AAA. So they loaned me out to Portland,
I didn't know
which is where I was born. I grew up a big Portland Beavers fan, AAA.
Wait, so at the time they could loan you out to another team, another organization's AAA team.
Yeah.
And then but that team wouldn't have any rights.
No.
Right? They just would basically
still owned by Seattle.
Right.
Okay. They could call you back anytime.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
It is.
But the general manager in Portland was David Hirsch, who is from Philadelphia. His father had a jewelry store here in Philadelphia, so the ties were with the Phillies. And I mean, it was a Phillies AAA affiliate at the time. And so that was 1983. It was my third time in playing for Portland with a different organization. I'm like, okay, that dream's come true enough. Can we move on?
Right.
But it was, I grew up just loving the Portland Beavers and wanted to play for the Portland Beavers, and it came true too many times. So But when I left, I was with Seattle in 81 and 82, and then they loaned me out in 83 to Portland. And when I was with Seattle, I played with some household names. You probably heard of them: Paul Cerna, Dan Farova, Bruce Bhakti, Dave Edler. Probably never heard of those guys at all. No idea. And then so I get traded from Seattle to Philadelphia, and I walk in a clubhouse to my lockers next to Tug McGraw. I look around.
Mick, can you picture Tug McGraw and Larry Andersen next to each other? Like, how does anything serious
that's boring,
taking place? Right.
But I mean, when I walked in and I saw the nameplates, I saw Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Tony Perez, Joe Morgan. Yeah. I'm like, and those are just the Hall of Famers.
Right.
And then Pete's not, but you know what I mean. But then, and there's also Gary Maddox and the Sarge. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here?
Right.
But it was one of the greatest experiences was coming here and just playing with those guys, with those Hall of Famers.
Did one of those guys, did Tug take you under, like, you were a reliever then, right?
Yeah.
So did one of those relievers kind of take you under their wing and kind of show you the ropes?
No, Lefty did.
That
was a big mistake. Yeah.
Wow.
I found out after being there a couple of weeks that Lefty would always find the newest guy to come and hang with him on the days he pitched. And on the days he pitched, he was just so wound up.
Yeah, right.
For lack of a better word, that it took him till about 6 or 7 in the morning to wind down.
Right.
And so he always wanted somebody with him to help him wind down. And I was that person for 2 or 3 starts when I first got there. And I learned pretty quick after that. It's like, probably want to stay away from Lefty on the day he pitches,
right,
or when he's done pitching.
Did you try any of his training methods of digging your arm into the
rice,
into the rice?
Yeah, and I mean they had the whole. It was almost like a garden of rice,
right?
Where you would get in with your feet and you would try and walk through it, and it was Gus Heffling's was the conditioning or physical conditioning coordinator. And he had us doing all kinds of martial arts stuff, but I was in tremendous shape.
Did you learn martial arts?
No.
No.
Didn't Lefty have a little, I don't know what he went into and meditated?
Yeah, I had a little room.
Did you do that?
I did that.
To work?
That was just to sleep off the night before.
I was going to say.
Were you always did you start any big league games?
One. I started one in Boston, yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, I thought it went well. Apparently the manager didn't. Renee Latchman was my manager, my favorite manager. He took me out after 4 2/3, leading 5-3 with 2 outs and a man on second.
Well, he didn't want you to get the win.
I was like, what? Yeah, but I did have a longer relief stint than my start. I had a 6-inning relief stint in Boston at Fenway in a 20-inning game. I don't know if it's still the longest game ever at Fenway. But I was in that pitch 6 innings in that game.
So we know towards the end of your career, it was slider.
Back then,
what did you throw early in your career?
Fastball, sinker, slider, curveball, and changeup.
Same arm angle as you did later in the year?
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, was there somebody that taught you, because obviously your slider was unbelievable. So was there somebody that taught you, do you give credit to like coach or a player or somebody to basically teach you how to throw that slider?
Don Beckwith.
Okay.
He was a teammate in high school. He was a year older than me, and he showed me the grip for his slider. So I always had the same slider. I think it got better the more I threw it, and then the more comfortable I got with it. It became the only thing I could throw. I would, kind of, if they say if you use it or lose it, well, I lost everything but the slider because that's the only thing I was using.
Did you ever shake off just to mess with the hitters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, when I went to Boston, I got traded to Boston in the Bagwell deal, which was a lopsided trade, and somehow he ended up in the Hall of Fame.
But you're going to be a Wall of Famer, so it's all going to work out.
It's equal.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
We're glad for that trade, by the way.
What's that?
We're glad that somehow, even though that wasn't really the Phillies.
He mentioned me in his Hall of Fame speech.
Is that right?
Yeah, he did. Because I was always telling him I was broadcasting after I retired. I actually faced him, but then I'd retired and ended up broadcasting. So every time we'd play Houston, I would get a hold of him and say, Baggy, man, you got to start hitting some more home runs. You got to get in that Hall of Fame. which that way it keeps me relevant every July with the trading deadline, because they call it one of the worst trades of all time, if not the worst. And I still don't think I think more highly of Bagwell than they did. So
now, do you ever do any alumni event? Like Mickey just obviously is our commissioner for Fantasy Camp. He took over your role, and he just went to Chicago after our camp and was part of the Chicago Cubs Fantasy Camp. Do you ever go back to Seattle or Boston or Houston or any of the teams you played for and done any alumni events?
Never. No, I haven't. Partly because
you're an announcer,
timing,
right?
Getting away from. I feel like it's not fair to take away from my job to go somewhere to do something else for some other organization at the time.
Do you think Mickey's done an admirable job filling in for your shoes as a commissioner of Fantasy Camp?
Better.
He has no idea, because every time I invite him to come, he does not come.
He doesn't come.
He probably has no idea.
I saw him this year. He came to the banquet.
Yeah,
we were hanging out.
Banquet doesn't count. He needs to come see some games.
Come see it. All right. Coming up on the show, we'll get more into Larry Andersen's career. You're listening to the Bull Session, presented by BCWSA.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, prove it. Hey,
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda, and their collision center.
Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offers subject to change. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends, order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit ChickieandPete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, prove it.
All right, we are back to the Bull Session presented by BCWSA. You can hear us on 1490 WBCB, 107.3 FM, also video stream, WBCBsports.com. I'm with Mickey Morandini, my co-host, and the great Larry Andersen. Now, Larry, I mentioned a little bit, and I know we did this last year, but you gotta tell the story. You're going to tell the story every year as long as you keep coming on the show. Wayne Gomes, one of my all-time favorite players. Love Wayne Gomes. And Gomesy, for me, I don't know if you heard this one. So in 1994, when I first started with the Phillies, Tom Burgoyne did the music for the team. And Dave Raymond retired after 93 season, so Tom became the best friend of the Fanatic. Then somebody needed to do the music. Well, Dennis Manning, who hired me, found out I was a music guy. He said, can you be the DJ? So I did it for a couple of years, which was great. I even did the All-Star game in 96. Well, Wayne Gomes at one year, I guess it might have been 94, 95, somewhere, that Wayne said, hey, man, I'm coming in to close. Can you play this? This is how long ago it was. Can you play this cassette tape when I come in? Now, this is before walk-up music. This is before, people requested songs. I said, no problem. So thankfully, in the 7th inning, I decided to listen to the tape, while there's a little break in action to see where I was going to cue up the song without thinking that I had to edit it or I couldn't play it. Well, sure enough, I'm listening to it in my own headsets, and there's a curse every other word. And I'm like, Wayne, so I don't play it. I go to the clubhouse after the game. Wayne's like, hey, man, I came in. You didn't play that song. I said, Wayne, were you trying to get me fired? Like, if I played that song, I'm done. There's a curse word. He's like, what, you can't play that? I'm like, no, man, you can't do that. Wayne Gomes is one of the funniest guys. And wasn't there a story, before you get to the practical joke, wasn't there a story where with the Rubbish Ranger?
Yes.
Can you tell that story?
It's he's in the stands charting the game. He pitched the night before, and some fans were giving him a rough time, and so something happened. Somebody was getting on him, and they wanted him to sign it, and he goes, "I can't sign it here." So they started blasting him, and it was almost like you're getting this couple of Rubbish Ranger came down and
with Deputy Debris.
Yes.
And for those that don't know, the Rubbish Ranger is like a Boy Scout, basically, with a Lone Ranger mask and a cape, and he cleans up the trash, and he's got his deputy, who's basically a Cub Scout, who's got his mask and his cape, and he's Deputy Debris. So go ahead.
So there's something with the Rubbish Ranger, something about his costume or his outfit that had, it was like not styrofoam, but I'm trying to think, like like hair. It was like fake hair or whatever.
Okay.
Well, they're getting in a scuffle. All of a sudden, they break it up. Everything gets broken up, and Gomesy has all this, this I don't know, like string, like the Fanatic string stuff.
Right.
It was like that, all over his hair, stuck to his hair, and it just. You kind of had to see it to believe it.
Now, what I heard is that Ed Wade was our general manager, and I guess they were trying to find out, like, something happened in Reading. And someone called up and said, yeah, your number one draft pick got in a scuffle with Deputy Debris and the Rubbish Ranger.
Yeah. And there was one other one was his mechanics weren't real good. He balked 6 times in the first inning. Okay.
That's not good.
That
right?
was after walking like 3 guys.
Yeah.
So there's a guy in the stand sitting just to the left of the dugout. And it's a guy that's at every game. And so Gomes is coming off the mound after the first inning, and this guy's hooting all over him. He's screaming at Gomes, and so Gomes, he gets in the dugout. He's hot. And I'm like, what are you doing? You walked 3 guys, you balked 6 times, and you're worried about a fan yelling at you. And he goes, where is that guy? Because I'm going to go up there and kick his ass. I said, well, he's right there. But just so you know ahead of time, he's blind, so you shouldn't have any problem.
Jeez. Oh, jeez.
It was a blind guy, and he wanted to go kick his butt.
Wow.
Unbeknownst to him, he was blind. But
all right. So then I guess you had it in your mind that you've got to basically – you're going to have to get Gomesy somehow, right? Because
they were charting games. Before each game, the pitcher for the next day would have to chart. And he kept, every time somebody had a chart and was charting, he would go over there and break the pencil. So I'd have to go back through the dugout, through the concourse, into the clubhouse. So I'd have to walk every time they broke a pencil. I have to go get a new one. Until I finally realized maybe I should just keep more pencils on the bench. But he kept breaking. I said, you know what? You keep doing it, I'm going to get you. You're going to be sorry. So he kept breaking the pencil. So one time I said, that's it. So ESPN had called me, ESPN, the magazine that was out then at that time, and said, hey, would you care to do a practical joke or something? We could set something up, somehow, some way with somebody. And I said, I just happen to have the perfect person we could play a prank on, Wayne Gomes. So we had it set up. We talked to general manager, Lee Thomas, I believe at the time. His agent knew, just about everybody in the organization knew we were pulling this prank.
The players.
But not the players.
Right.
So, and Bill Dancy was our manager. George Culver was our pitching coach. So I cleared it all with them. So we had a meeting before a game and announced that Wayne Gomes had been traded to Japan. And so Bill Dancy comes in and talks, and we're in the pennant race. I mean, we're leading the league, and we're, getting close to clinching the pennant. And all of a sudden, you're going to trade one of your pitchers. But, Dancy played it up well. He said, it's just going to be for 1 year. You're still going to be owned by the Phillies. You'll be back here. Nothing's going to change. You'll just miss the rest of the season. We're going to, it's going to be sad to miss you and everything, especially the way the team's going. But, it's one of those business decisions in baseball. And so we had it all set up. And so he's in there. He's on. And they had a mic come in, actually a Korean guy, James Chang, who pretended like he was Japanese, and walking around with his buddies walking around with the boom mic. James Chang has a microphone, but the cord is in his coat pocket.
Right.
So nobody knew the difference. And Dancy made an announcement that, hey, there's a crew from Japan is coming here doing a documentary on minor league baseball, and they picked the Reading Phillies. So they're going around, and they said, just give them access to wherever they want to go. There's no restrictions on them. So Gomesy's on the phone. He's calling his mom, and he's saying, I just got traded to Japan. I'm going to Nomo's old team, the Yasuchi Makachusis or something like that. He just threw out some kind of name.
Right.
And he goes, I'm going to Nomo's old team.
But he's in shock, right?
He was absolutely in shock.
Right.
And so we come back in the clubhouse after this, and they have a meeting, and Dancy's talking about, he's getting traded. And so he's giving his shoes away to Larry Mitchell.
Which is his best friend,
who I just got a picture from Todd Parney.
Yep.
Who was the marketing director of Reading at the time. Last night, he sent me a picture of a game in Richmond, and I called him, his nickname was Snack Bar. Larry Mitchell was sitting right behind him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so he sent me that picture.
But wasn't Larry crying? Wasn't he crying?
He was crying. Larry Mitchell was crying because his best friend got traded to Japan. Gomesy takes his red spikes from the Reading team. He throws them to Mitchell. Here, you take my spikes. I don't need them. And Mitchell's crying. He throws them. I don't care. I don't want your spikes. I don't want them. And it just, the only guy that knew something or felt something was going on was Kent Blassingame.
Okay.
He's like, this isn't real.
Right.
And he kept trying to say it, and I kept trying to shut him down.
Right.
And but he was the only one. Everybody else was playing along and falling for it. And so we just kept it going in that time for probably about 45 minutes, out on the field, back in the clubhouse. Gomesy's packing his bags. This was on a Friday, and they said he had to leave Sunday morning for his flight. They'd get him the ticket and take care of everything. So he's packing his bags and everything up. And so Bill Dancy, after all this long spiel and everything, said, you guys got anything to say? And George Culver, the pitching coordinator, made a few comments, and then Dancy said, Andy, do you want to say something? You want to talk? And I said, so I got up and I said, well, it's tough to do right now. We're in the middle of a championship run, and the way things are going, we got a chance to win this whole thing. And I just want you to know that all the fun we had, and we're breaking the pencils and charting guys, and I said, I told you I'd get you, and I said, I just got you.
Oh,
and he just
tell me the sense of relief.
You've never seen a bigger smile.
Right.
I mean, the corners of his mouth touched each ear.
Right.
It was just, and everybody was like, what?
Right.
Except Blassingame. I knew it.
Right.
But everybody else.
And Larry Mitchell stopped crying.
Oh yeah, he stopped crying. It took a while, but he did. But that was one of the better
one of the great. Well, and then they tried to replicate that with Kendrick,
yeah.
Right? And that was good, right? But it wasn't like that. That was the primo.
Yeah.
Now the other one too that a lot of people know you for as well was, I guess it's kind of goofy, but Mike Schmidt was struggling, right?
Right.
And didn't you recommend that he come to, and he made some comments to the press, and then I think you recommended come out with a wig.
Yeah. He made some comments in April I believe it was Montreal, and he made these comments in April, but I don't remember who the writer was, but they held on it. They sat on it.
Right.
And then when in July, we're on a road trip, and it was a terrible road trip. And we're on our way home, and the writer decided, well, this is a real good time to just crush Schmitty, Right. It was just, there was no other reason to it, just to make Schmitty look bad. So this article comes out about the fans are horrible and they're trashing the Phillies. And he just came out and blasted the fans.
Right.
So this comes out. So he's in a clubhouse. He's like, I'm going to get crushed. I'm going to go out on the field take infield practice, which they used to do before every game, or just about every game. And he's like, they're going to kill me. I said, Schmitty, you got to go out there and put this. I had the wig on, the long wig. I said, put the wig on. and go out there, and he's
Yeah.
going to. So I want to take infield at first base. I'm not going all the way out to third. I want to get as close as I can to the dugout to get away from it. I said, well, just put this on. And then Steve Jeltz had a pair of fancy sunglasses. He said, here, take these too. I said, Schmitty, that's your best bet. Put the wig on, put the sunglasses on, go out there. And he's like, I mean, he fought it. And he finally agreed. He's like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot. He walks out of the dugout. They see him, and they gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think a lot of it was because people like that, superstars get, like Mick, they get put up on a pedestal.
Yep.
And people look at you, and they never see the vulnerable side of you.
Yep.
They just see you're a superstar. And I think the fact that he went out there and did that, it was like he made himself more human.
Yeah.
Definitely did.
So he got a great ovation. So
all right. Well, coming up, we're going to have more stories from Larry Andersen. You're listening to the Bull Session presented by BCWSA.
You can't ask me any more stories.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickieandpete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
At Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offers subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda, and their collision center.
Back to the Bull Session presented by BCWSA. I'm John Brazer, joined by Mickey Morandini and our special guest, Larry Andersen. And Larry, we were talking about practical jokes.
Right.
What was the story behind these sunflower seeds that you had pinched all over your face?
No story. It was just something I did in the bullpen to pass the time.
You're bored?
Well, I always paid attention to who was doing what, because I wanted to be able to know when I go in the clubhouse, can I go pat this guy in the back and say, stick with him, everything's okay, or hey, great job today. I did. I wanted to be able to know who was doing what. So I did pay attention, but I also I didn't want to get so locked in that I became a basket case. I was
you want to keep
close enough
loose
to that already. So I try to enjoy it, have fun, but not get too locked.
How's that work? How do you get a sunflower seed to stick to your skin?
You have to have strong fingers, and you just barely pinch the tip of the sunflower seed. So you squeeze the outside of it and push it against your skin, and it pinches. So
does it leave marks?
No.
Well,
marks. I mean, there might be a few. I can't.
Yeah.
You see a few?
No.
But I think my record was 86.
Okay.
86 sunflower seeds.
Was that based on your record? Like, were you beating someone else's record, or was it your record?
Just my record.
I
don't know if anybody else
Book of World
did it.
Records?
Yes.
Is it in there?
I didn't. Other guys would mess with it and try it, but they'd usually get frustrated and just give up on it.
All right. So I believe that, and I can't imagine there's another more entertaining person that's ever put on a Major League Baseball uniform than yourself. But from your perspective, who's the most entertaining person you've ever played with, played against? If you want to go on a trip for a week with this guy that you're going to guarantee to have a great time.
Honestly, one of the funniest guys, and I don't know if everybody on the team realized, I think a lot of them did, but David West was,
okay.
I just thought he was hysterical. He had terminology, like Eckersley growing up, coming up through the minor leagues, he had like, he made stuff up. He just would like paint in the black. Like, I never heard that before. He was the first one I ever heard that from. Or this guy took me yard. You're not going to believe him. Like, what do you mean? He hit a home run off me.
Right.
Like, he would say stuff that he had his own lingo. And he was, I tell you what, he was one of the most cocky players I've ever been around. And I could see where teams that played against him couldn't stand him. Eckersley, yeah. But he would be on the mound. And I don't know if it was the game where he threw a no-hitter in Boston, but I'm pretty sure it was in Boston. It was a certain game, and he was punching guys out right and left. He's on the mound. He strikes the guy out, points at the on-deck circle. Next. He would point to him like, get up to the plate. You're next. I mean, and he didn't care. But the one thing he did is he backed it up.
Yeah.
That's for sure. For his whole career.
I just caught a little special. I guess that was yesterday, I think. And it was based on Kirk Gibson. And I forgot that Kirk Gibson was a phenomenal football player.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. I mean, he could have been in the NFL for years, right? As probably a tight end.
Yeah.
Right. And they showed, obviously his big home run was against Eckersley in that moment when he was on the bench and he was hurt and nobody's going to, they're saying, where's Kirk Gibson? I guess he's not even on the bench. He can't play. And then he comes in that big moment and hits that home run.
Yeah.
So, and the poor guy is suffering from Parkinson right now. So,
is he?
Yeah, pretty badly. But the whole feature was on Kirk Gibson about that. All right. Also talking about characters, you had the pleasure of and honor of working with Harry Kalas.
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier, 17 years to the day that he passed away. Tell us what it was like. I know you traveled with him. You guys were you sat next to each other on the plane. What was your relationship with Harry the K?
Tremendous. We had a great relationship. The one thing I think, and everybody obviously loves listening to Harry. And I think that's when I first started working with him. I remember Dan Stevenson, who did our video, his nickname video, a couple years in, he's like, dude, or a couple games in, he's like, you're like a deer in headlights. He's like, you need to chill a little bit, relax a little bit. And I'm like, do you realize I'm working with Harry Kalas?
Right.
Would you want to be talking when he's sitting next to you, or would you just want to listen to him? And that's where I caught myself. I just want to listen to him.
Right.
But I think one thing I would say, if there's one thing that I don't think people realize, is how funny he was. He could say stuff off just out of nowhere, and just floor you.
Right.
Because
in a very dry way, right?
Absolutely, very subtle and very dry. But when it came out, you would just first you would just go, what? And then you just start laughing because he was just that's the way he was.
Well, it's interesting that you guys got the ultimate sign of respect that, when you go on team travel, the coaches all sat in the front with the manager in the first class. And then the beginning of second class was like the front. Well, back then it was the writers were there.
Right.
I can't believe the writers traveled with you guys. You had writers, and then you had front office staff like myself back then or whatever, trainers and strength conditioning guys, this and that. And then you have the younger players, and then it goes all the way back to the veterans. Now, you had special dispensation and Harry, which again is a honor that you guys were allowed to sit all the way in the back, even though broadcasters typically to players are an extension of the front office, and they want to talk freely about trash the team or trash whatever, and right? And they don't want the announcers near you. But again, you guys, part of it, Harry wanted to smoke back then.
Well, yeah. Back then you could smoke on the plane, and we both smoked at the time. So, but we sat back there when I played. After I retired, we sat back there until I don't know, early 2000s, somewhere in there, and we got
a couple guys
went to the manager and said they don't want Harry and myself back in the back of the plane anymore. And now this was a team that, I don't know, I'm guessing lost 100 games.
Right.
Like they didn't have anything else to worry about except the broadcasters.
And these guys, if I remember, were short timers. They weren't exactly around for a long time.
Yeah.
Tell them the story in '93 when we got stuck on the runway for a couple hours. You guys were drinking back there?
Well, yeah. we were sitting in the back of the plane.
That was a 93.
93.
I don't think it was 93.
Was it 93?
No, because I was on that flight. It was out to Colorado.
94.
94.
Yeah. And we were going to Colorado. There was thunderstorms all the way in between. So we sat on the tarmac for 3 hours.
Yeah, the captain came on right when we all sat down and said, "Sorry, we shouldn't attack, but we're here. There's gonna be bad weather. Sit back, drink, eat, whatever. We'll keep you updated."
So I kind of at the time I knew we were going to be there for a while, so I went and picked up all the Miller Lights I could find and put them in the back seat, the back row, for me and Harry, being the selfish person that I am. And then I guess, I don't know if Harry was already tired or just got a little banged up, but he
couple see-throughs
fell asleep. I won't say passed out. He fell asleep.
Nice way of saying that.
So he had the shades down. He fell asleep, and I don't know, probably two hours later, he wakes up, opens up his eyes. He looks at me, called me breakdown, and he looks at me and goes, "Pretty smooth so far, breakdown." I was like, "HK, we haven't left the runway." What? They lifted up the shade, and we're still sitting on the runway.
Oh my gosh. And then you obviously worked with our buddy Wheels, right?
Yep.
And then Sarge, you worked with a lot of legends there.
Yeah.
LA,
yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
But I got to say too that, in our generation, I grew up in Philadelphia and listened to Harry and Whitey, and those guys you never thought that anybody could ever approach the level they became. I mean, they were like Mutt and Jeff. I mean, they were like the perfect mix. And then to this generation, you guys have almost gone beyond that. I mean, you and Fransky make such a great pair. You can tell on the air, obviously Mick and I know you guys, so we know you guys are really tight and really good friends. But you can tell, even if you've never met you guys, you can tell that there's instant chemistry. And I think there really does need to be chemistry. And you both play off each other so well. Scott knows what gets you going.
Oh, yeah.
You know what gets Scott going. Scott's very good at setting you up, and then you're very good at delivering what he's setting up. It really is kind of a perfect match.
Well, one of the regrets I have is I won't have a chance to take Scott Fransky to where I took Harry, where David West and I took Harry, because it's not there anymore. The Black Banana.
Oh, in Philadelphia. You took Harry Callis to the Black Banana?
We took Harry Callis
really?
to the Black Banana.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember the guy in there that had the rollerblades and had the spandex, with the T-shirt, the sleeveless T-shirt, and skating around, and I don't know.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall on that one.
Well, it was funny because then, like for the next, I don't know, probably month, it was during batting practice at home. Harry would holler out from the booth at the Veterans Stadium, "Breakdown, the Double B, the worst bar I've ever been to in my life." He was upset because he had to give a guy $5 to put a rock on his car to park and not let his car get broken into or the tires slashed or anything. But we went in there. Yeah, Harry went in there with his white shoes, his white belt, fit right in.
Oh my gosh! Now that's obviously. Do you still go to the Lodge when you guys play in Chicago?
I haven't been there in a while. The
Lodge is a place on Russian Division that's peanut shells on the floor.
Yeah.
And, back when the players would all go out, now the veterans would go out.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if I could do it today with social media.
Yeah. I think that's probably the problem, right?
I think that's a big problem. We went out a lot, probably more than we should have.
Yeah, but nobody's taking a picture of you with a beer, and then when you blow a save, then like Larry Andersen blew the save because he was out drunk last night. When you might have had that might be the only drink you had that night.
Perhaps.
Right? Perhaps. Nevertheless. Nevertheless. And Harry Cowles too, one of his favorite. I remember going to Lefty O'Doul's in San Francisco. It's a piano bar right off Union Square, and he absolutely loved that place. He loved any piano bar.
Any piano. Redheads in Chicago, we would go there before the lodge.
Yeah.
Harry didn't spend much time in the lodge, but he would go to Redheads because they had a piano. He had to have somewhere where they had a piano where he could sing.
Yeah. He should have just gone to Downey's and could have done some karaoke.
That's right. You know what?
Well, when we go to break, let's talk about Downey's. We'll talk further about Scott Fransky, and let's talk about this year's team. You're listening to the Bull Session presented by BCWSA.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickieandpete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
At Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offers subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Hey, BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda, and their collision center.
I guess we'll stay. All right, we are back to the Bull Session presented by BCWSA. I'm John Brazer, joined by Mickey Morandini and our special guest, Larry Andersen. So, Mick, while Larry's signing autographs, Larry Andersen, did you interact much with Larry on the 93 team?
I think we all interacted on the 93. We all got along well.
So there wasn't like the pitchers on one side and the hitters on the other side?
No, not really. I mean, I think there's always a little bit of a gap between pitchers and hitters.
Yeah.
I mean, but we all got along very well. We all had a great time in that clubhouse. And as Larry knows, when we went out between those white lines, man,
right,
we were focused.
Oh, yeah. And you talked baseball after the game.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
The trainer's room. All right, Larry, one of your big things, as everyone knows.
That's one thing I wanted to reiterate what Mick said. Like, this was a team that we had fun. Everybody got along. There were, I would say, like pitchers, hung with pitchers or bullpen guys anyway. And it was, but mostly pitchers and players, you know, that they had their own little cliques or groups, but it didn't matter. Sometimes we'd all integrate and get together, and other times, we'd each go their own way. But when they crossed the white lines, and that's one thing for me, I have a love-hate relationship with the 93 team and a lot with Chase Utley, and people are like, how could you hate the 93 team or Chase Utley? It's like, because the way they played the game has made me more aware of how the game's supposed to be played. Right. And when I don't see it happening as a broadcaster, I call it out. And is it unfair? Maybe. But just, the guys, the 93 team, after 24 years professionally playing, I saw guys going out and playing every single game the right way, doing whatever they had to do with 3 platoons.
Yep.
And everybody pulled for everybody. It was just,
and it's a different.
And they did things right.
And it's a different game. I mean, like just the other day, I'm sure you were well, you weren't on the air because it was the Dodgers, but when Freddie Freeman got hugged by the second baseman who tagged him out, right? Like, can you imagine that back in your day? That just, you guys were brawling against the Cardinals in spring training, right? I mean, there was some, there's no fraternizing.
No.
And
Nolan Ryan's best friend was Harry Spillman, and Harry was with the Giants. Harry's wife ran Nolan Ryan's companies.
Okay.
Back in where'd they live? Can't think of the name of the town they lived in Texas, small town outside of Philly. But Harry Spillman's wife worked for Nolan. I keep wanting to say
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan. I want to say Aaron Nolan. I don't know why, because I'm old and forgetful. Right. But when we would play San Francisco, Noli would not look at Harry. He wouldn't speak to him. He wouldn't say hi to him.
Right.
I'm not kidding. It was like Nolan was like, when I'm on the field, I'm an Astro and I don't like the Giants, or I don't like whatever team we're playing. And he refused to talk to him. And it was, that was the way it was. You just, we'll fraternize, we'll get together, we'll have dinner after the game or after the season, but we're not doing it right on the field.
All right. Before we get to the current team, now the automatic ball strikes, everyone knows that you and umpires don't really see eye to eye, right? So is it's interesting because, it's kind of, you never want to show up the umpires, but this automatic ball strike is basically kind of putting them in the crosshairs a little bit.
Oh, big time. But I mean, when you look at some of the calls that they miss, or they missed by a fraction of an inch,
right?
Yeah, it's like you have more respect for them,
right?
Well, you should have more respect for them, I should say. I don't necessarily mean you do, because they only get challenged a few times a game doesn't mean they get all the pitches right.
Right.
So
I like the system because I think, obviously Phillies could have used it last year in the Dodgers series, right, on Sanchez.
Big time.
Right, in a key situation. And it's not slowing down the game. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the current team, obviously I was at the game. I mentioned I was at the game yesterday. Off to a slow start, 7-8. Offense is just not – there's no consistency at all. It's basically – I think that scary stat that I think they scored in three innings of the last
27.
46.
No, 46. Yeah, it was 46.
We've scored 3, 4, and 5 runs in 3 different innings in those last 46 innings.
Right. So are they pressing? Is it
they're certainly not impressing.
They're not impressing. That's true. That's true. Is that the opposite of pressing? Yes.
Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe it is. But I mean, it looks like the pitching has been fine, right? For the most part. A little bit. I mean, obviously Taijuan Walker's had his struggles in the first innings.
I did a little homework this morning.
Unlike your partner?
I don't usually do homework, but unlike my partner who did it
my
2
homework
minutes
5 minutes before.
So here's some hitting stats. We're 25th in hitting. We're 28th in runs scored.
Okay.
24th in hits.
Okay.
25th in batting average. 13th in home runs. We have 7 starters that have struck out at least 10 times already, leading with Schwarber with 24 strikeouts already. And, I mean, we're 20th in fielding, which isn't great.
No.
And right now we're actually 20th in ERA. Our pitching's going to be really good, but I don't think the starters have impressed. Overall, they haven't been what they're supposed to be.
So what's the positive here? Is there a bullpen?
Crawford's a positive.
Painter's
a positive.
Yep. Bullpen's been
bullpen, I think, has been pretty good overall. Nola has been Nola. So there are some positives out there for sure. We got Wheeler coming back soon. But, I think runners in scoring position, we're 26th, driving in runs in scoring position. And here's the killer for me. Bohm, Stott, and Realmuto have 6 extra base hits combined. Bohm has 2 extra base hits, and Stott has 1 in 15 games.
Well, when you look at it, too, we play the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are literally their 40-man roster. It's either the 25 active guys and then the 15 guys are all injured. Like, literally, they are Red Cross right there. We play the Rockies. We haven't exactly been playing the Yankees and the Dodgers. And if we're in the Mickey, the stats we have there, they got to turn around. If they're waiting for warmer weather, it's just, not sure.
I thought the Rockies series, it would get them on track.
Right.
And they scored 10 runs in the first 3 innings. And then that was
it.
it. And so it just, then they go to San Francisco. San Francisco was like 3-8 when they got there. They lost that series when they won the first game. And it's a combination of everything. I think there was a pop-up in that San Francisco game, and Nola gave up the 3-run home run to Devers. Well, that inning, a pop-up that didn't get caught in shallow right field. Right. You know, Stott went over, Harper went back, Garcia came in, and it drops. It's just, I know it's wind. There's wind there and there's sun there, but if that ball's caught, Nola's out of that inning. We're leading 4-2 instead of behind 5-4.
I mean, I didn't even mention the base running.
Or 3-2.
Right.
Base running hasn't been good either. So they just got to play better baseball.
Who do you think?
I mean, Harper said it after the game last night. He said, we just have to play better baseball.
Yeah.
And that's true. And, you know, you can say, well, everybody's just pressing.
I don't understand how you press the first 2 weeks of the season.
I don't either.
Maybe if you're, 10 games out in July or August and you have to win, maybe you start pressing. But I don't think it's their pressing.
If you're Rob Thompson, who are you putting for the Cubs series this week? Who are you putting as your cleanup hitter? Because they've tried Bohm.
We have one cleanup hitter on this team. And he's batting second.
Right.
So we really do. He's the only guy that I would trust in the fourth.
But if you're doing the lineup, are you putting Schwarber there or Harper there?
You got to do something. You got to, and mixing the lineup doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to start hitting.
Right. You're right.
It's a mechanical thing.
Right.
You could hit eighth in the lineup and still come up with the bases loaded. So, I had thought maybe put Bohm hitting second because he likes to hit the ball the other way. He normally puts the ball in play. He's going to see a lot of good pitches because Harper's behind him. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, and I'm sure Rob doesn't either right now.
I think right now you could just put the names in a hat and pull it out and let that guy hit fourth. Because,
one thing you could do too, and they won't do this, is put Justin leading off. Crawford.
Yeah.
Hit Trey second. And move Schwarber to
now,
4.
Is that putting too much pressure on a young?
Well, that's why I said they won't do it because he's really being successful in the 9 holes. So
I like the fact that he puts the bat on the ball, and he's got the speed. Obviously, if he hits it on the ground, he can get to first.
But until Bohm, Garcia, Stott, and Realmuto start hitting, it doesn't matter.
I don't know what happened. Stott had just an unbelievable spring, and he finished last year really swinging about bat well and not hitting those pop-ups to the left side. And in the spring, he was hitting everything everywhere, gap to gap. I mean, and everything he hit was hard, even his outs. And then all of a sudden the season starts, and it's just, he's back to where he was for most of last year. And you can't pin everything on one guy. There's a few guys struggling, obviously, when you look at the numbers that Mick just mentioned. But
I guess another positive is Painter. Painter's, yesterday was obviously a bummer. You hear before the game that he's got a migraine, but then he comes in the third inning, fourth inning, and pitched great.
Yeah.
And he's mixing pitches. He's pitching not like a rookie season.
Right.
So, all right. Well, but we're not. It's early, right? But at the same time,
I swear, all we ever say is it's early.
We've been saying that for a few years, though, haven't we?
Well, maybe.
I will say this: we ended up one game out of first place last year to be the number 1 seed, and if we'd have been a number 1 seed, we'd have skipped LA.
Right.
So these April and May games, they mean something.
Important.
They mean something.
They are
absolutely.
All right. Well, next week we're gonna have our buddy Dickie Knowles on. We're gonna be out in Warrington. So, Mick, are you on next week?
No, Tommy
Green. All right. Well, that wraps up this week's Bull Session presented by BCWSA. Thanks, my co-host Mickey Morandini, our guest today, the great Larry Andersen, our producer Chris Ermer. As I said, we're gonna be back next Monday in Warrington, PA, with our guest Dickie Knowles. Until then, have a great week. And as the late great Harry the K says,
out of here.
Thanks, Braves. Thanks, Mickey.